Okay, cool. I guess we can get started. So in this session, we will be trying to will be focusing on a few aspects of the product teardown, like like as I have mentioned in the requirement of us of a teardown projects where we understand about the company, then we also understand about uh we understand about the company, the users of the specific products of that specific company, and how the industry landscape looks like. So in this session, first of all, we'll be primarily focusing on this aspect, which is the company analysis, user, and as well as this industry specific research. How do we exactly do that? So it is going to be a research specific session. So before I, okay, so I have shared this specific prompt sheet with you all in the chat box. So you guys can follow alongside me. Um, okay. So the very first thing that I wanted to discuss is about the different AI tools that we'll be using for this product teardown. So the very first thing that I wanted to explain to you all is which specific LLM or which specific um, AI chat model suits best in which case scenarios. So just wanted to make it very clear. So we use Gemini. So Gemini is a really great tool where we can get the descriptive analysis of anything. So let's say if we have a really great set of data, or if let's say if we have very great set of information or PDF files, then Gemini gives the best results in this case scenarios. Then we have the Claude AI. So Claude AI is best when we are working on something called creative stuff. Maybe if we are using this is specific tool for coding purpose, vibe coding purpose, then this tool is again for. And let's say if we are doing something where we need certain logic or maybe some analysis, then we can use ChatGPT, or the ChatGPT is again for the creative aspects, but if we compare all these models, then Claude suits the best. And for the reasoning aspects, we have DeepSeek to be the best. Now, why am I explaining this at the moment? Because we'll be using these tools extensively throughout this project, specifically for the research. So, first of all, I wanted to explain more about the a company analysis, like how do we exactly do a company analysis. So for this, considering the type of teardown project that we'll be doing, we'll be using different sort of prompts. Or for example, likewise in the example of this Misho, I wanted to explain more about, let's say, if we are working on the user aspects, like let's say a user are facing certain problems that we are trying to identify and fix, which is not yet been solved by Misho. That is one aspect from the user end. Secondly, let's say the company have certain matrices in their mind that they wanted to achieve, which has been mentioned in the annual reports or conference calls. So we'll try to understand that, like what company can do in order to achieve that. So there are two aspects that we can take into consideration. So for this in this session, I'll be taking Misho as an example, since most of you voted for Misho in the pool. So first of all, I have given you a prompt, which is being divided into three parts, which is the system prompt, user prompt, and the output. So basically, a system prompt is something where it it is being fixed. For example, in this case, we have given it a system prompt that you're a product strategist and product data analyst, and this is something that you're supposed to do every single time. So I'll be giving it a certain document, and this specific prompt will be used. So it is something which will be always constant. Secondly, there is user prompt, which has been given by the user. So for the timing, we'll be using this. And output format, it basically gives the LLM like what is the output I am expecting at the moment. So for the company analysis part, this is the prompt that we'll be using. And in order to get more um, about from where we'll be giving this taking this entire information, which specific tools sources we'll be using. So in our case, we'll be using the annual reports of this specific company, which is Misho. So I've already downloaded and I'll be using Gemini for this purpose. So let's upload the file. So we'll be using the annual reports of Misho. You guys can also download the, if you guys all are also following along me, then you can also download it from their investor website. So you can easily find it on the web. And we need to use this specific prompt.
Is this file shared?
Yes, the prompt that I have given, it there in the chat thread of this specific meeting.
Okay,
I
thanks.
Okay, you will be able to find that out there. Okay, so we will be using this in order to get the company analysis. Okay, there is another thing till since it will take some time. Meanwhile, I can discuss more on the user part of it or the industry part of it, like how do we exactly do an industry analysis. So for industry analysis, there are a lot of sources available. But if I talk about the credible sources, so we have something called as the IBEF reports. So s- okay, so IBEF reports. So these IBF stands for India Brand Equity Foundation, and they um, basically publish a lot of industry reports around e-commerce, different manufacturing, and so on and so forth. So you guys can get all these industry reports for free on this specific website. There is another website that you can refer to, which is Statista, but Statista is again a paid source. So for if you're looking for free sources, then you can refer to IBF dot org slash industry. So let me just log into my account again. Okay, this is not the. Just give me a second. I need to. Okay, so you guys can easily create a report. You guys can easily create an account on this specific website, and these reports are actually very detailed if you take a look. So you guys can get a lot of data, a lot of touch points, a lot of information about the industry in which the company is currently operating. So I can share this as well in the group itself for your reference. Yes. I can be able to download this as well. Okay, so I've shared the required documents on in the group itself. So you can refer to that. You can use all those files for your analysis. Okay, so we got the details from the company about the company from the Gemini at the moment, where they have firstly we have the basic information about the company, what the product that they have, and what is the function that in which they are operating, and what are the different matrices that they are able to generate in the few years. So if you have gone through the template that I have shared for the very first slide that you will be working upon, so you have got most of the information about that specific company from this specific analysis. So we have all sort of analysis like what are the number of orders which has been placed, what is the annual transaction user, what is the LTM, what is the engagement. So we have got most of the most important features, even the competitive analysis from their annual reports. So you guys can also follow a similar approach and complete your entire project in very less time using this specific approach. So I have shared all sort of important aspects. So you guys can ignore the uh, financial matrices at the moment since we are focusing on the product side of it. So using this specific analysis, this specific prompt and the file, you guys can get the best analysis for your tear down projects. This is the number one thing that we do, which is the company analysis. So I hope this much is pretty clear to everyone. In case guys have any follow-up questions or have any doubts, just let me know. Okay, cool. I guess nobody have any doubts. Then we can move ahead. Secondly, we have the industry analysis. So I have given again a prompt for the industry analysis part, like how do we do an industry analysis? So we'll be using this specific prompt again, which is being divided into two different parts, which is the three parts, which is the user prompt, a system prompt, and what is the output that we are expecting. Okay. So these two analysis are very easy at the moment, but there is user analysis where I need most of your attention and time. So just stay tuned. So the second thing that we are going to do is to get an industry analysis of that specific uh, industry in which they are currently operating. Okay, so these two prompts and these two specific output that we have got. This is sufficient to cover the initial two ask of the problem statement. And even if you're working on any tear down projects, then these two prompts and these two starting points would be sufficient to complete to cover like 20% of your project. The next thing that we'll be trying to understand is about the user. So till the time it is giving us the output, we can focus on the other part, which is the user analysis. So how do we exactly understand a user? So there can be two ways through which we can do that. Number one, we can basically talk to a user via a primary research. And secondly, we can work on the other aspects like the secondary aspects. So for that, we can refer to any reports, but when we are working on any specific project around tear down, so the information regarding a specific user is not readily available in the market the way we have got in the previous in for the industry analysis or the market industry analysis or the company analysis. So for that, we need to do some extra labor and read some of the reviews which is being there on the internet by our users. So it can be Reddit, it can be Play Store, it can be App Store, where they have bluntly expressed their feedback. So we'll be referring to that in order to get the best possible understanding about our user. So for that, if you are in that specific document, so for the user analysis part, we saw first of all we have a prompt. And then we have something called as the API actors used in the session. So what is API? What is API? So API is a platform where we get more than 40,000 API tools, which can be used to get to scrape the data. So for our example, we'll be using API. So I have attached link to both of the API actor which has been used. I tried finding Reddit pages as well where the users of Misho have explicitly shared their feedback, but I was unable to find at the moment. I find something similar to that for Flipkart. I find something similar for Amazon, but for Misho, I was unable to find anything. So we will be using this specific API actor for the user analysis part for scraping the results of the for scraping the reviews of the users, which is available in the on Play Store App Store. So in meanwhile, let's take a look at the industry analysis, which might have we have received at the moment. Okay, so we again have the most relevant industry analysis where we get the industry, what is the CAGR, what is the trends in the market, then who are the target audience, and the age group segmentation, so on and so forth. Then we again have a competitor analysis on the different aspects, which we have received from the industry report, which has been shared by the government of India on the IBEF. So we can you again understand about this and understand what is the future outlook, how the market looks like in the future, and then how Misho can leverage that. So maybe you can read that entire stuff and try to understand how Misho can improve and leverage the future opportunities which is there in the market. So this is the second thing that we try to understand. For example, we have certain data regarding this, like India is the second largest online consumer, and out of that, total rising to 37%. So there's been a shift in there. It is predicted that will be a shift in the online market, and it will rise up to 37%. And similarly, we have something called as the next phase is around the quick commerce and the small communities, and so on and so forth. So you guys can basically go through the market landscape, what the Misho is doing, and how the market future outlooks look like. And the intersection of all these would be a sweet spot for your teardown project. So this is the one part. So this is the second part where we'll be doing an industry analysis after the company analysis. So I hope this is pretty much clear to everyone. Just let me know in case you have any follow-up questions. If you have any doubts, I can definitely take that up. Okay, I guess we can move ahead. Now, the second thing that we are trying to understand is about the user. So I hope you all have log into the API at the moment. So API is a great scraper tool which we will be using in this session. So first of all, let's go to the Google Play Store scraper, and then I have already attached the application link. So you need to just search for Misho space Play Store, and then just copy this specific link. And then we have devices as mobile, so you guys can even show a comparison between these three products if you want to. At the moment, I'm just focusing on the mobile aspects. What is the number? So we need the most new reviews on the Play Store, and then maybe we can give it a rating. Like I need only 1 star rating, but for the time being, I'm trying to understand about the users as well. So there will be different set of users. Let's say there is a user who has given us 5 star, who's a happy customer, and there is a one star user who is not satisfied with the product. And what is the number of maximum reviews that we need? So let's say at the moment we can take around 200 reviews at the moment, and then we need to save and start. So I guess you might need to rent an actor if you're using this for the very first time, and then we'll be just starting the analysis. So you can even automate this process using the API keys, which is been available in the, which is offered by, uh, I guess I have by mistake clicked on abort. Okay, no. Okay, or maybe you guys can refer to any of the AI automations that I have shared as well in the group itself. So you can automate this entire process. So we have multiple reviews. For example, we have a good customer. Simultaneously, we have a negative review as well. So we'll try to understand about the user sentiments, like what is the number of comments that we have received, the reviews that we have received, what is the percentage of it is a negative review, and what percentage is a positive review, and how consumer perceive us, and what are the improvements that they are looking for in our application. So let's export that. So we can use the CSV. So we got this analysis. Similarly, we'll be using the same for App Store. For App Store, there's a different approach. For our App Store, we just need to give it give it the ID of the application that we are using. So let's say it's Meesho space App Store. So we need to copy this specific part, which is 14792. We'll be using this specific code. Okay, so that's the same. And now we can just start the analysis, start scraping my pad. Now we have the data from App Store as well. So we got the data from App Store as well. Okay, so now we'll be using again Google Gemini in order to get the user persona and what are the pain points and what is the jobs needs to, what are the different jobs to be done by us in order to improve the current user experience. So let's upload these files that we have just scraped and use the prompt which is there in the Google Doc that I have shared. So it is not. Okay. Now this is something where I want you to closely read all the aspects of what is the user, what are their expectations, and what they are looking forward to. Meanwhile, in case you are stuck at any point, if you're following along, you can just ping me. I can definitely help you with the same.
I have a question.
Yes.
So actually, what benefit does the finding out the user reviews have for the overall product add-on?
Okay, I'll explain on this once we got the analysis from the Gemini. So I'll cover that as well. So for
All right.
example, we got the different types of persona. Like there is one which is the value seeker, where they are basically trying out the affordable stuff. But there is a second set of user, which is a frustrated user. So they have given a certain negative reviews, like they are unable to raise return request. Number one, they have not received the refund, and the wrong product is been sent. Now in this entire stuff, there is if you try to understand more on the pinpoint analysis part. So users are frustrated on four different aspects. Number one, is the logistics and trusts. There is feature and UX. For example, there is a broken and error-prone return policy process, which is there on the um, feature side. So we need to try to understand what exactly problem that they're facing at the moment. Similarly, we have something called as a support and policies. They are not very happy with the current offerings. So what else we can do in order to uh, fix this specific problem? So we got certain jobs which needs to be done along with certain um, references from. So all this data, that all this information and analysis that we have got is all from the reviews of the consumer. For example, so there is a value seeker user. So they want to easily find the most value for money product. So so that they can maximize without financial stress. So in this case, what we can do, we can work on the search part of it. So we need to recommend the best possible product to this specific set of user. Similarly, there is another frustrated returners. There is another set of user who is again frustrated, and so on and so forth. So these analysis will give us an a description about the problems which has been faced by the users, so we can work accordingly on our specific product. So from our scraping, we got like 4.22 rating as an average. And out of that, we have got like 18.57 as the negative reviews. So we will try to understand what exactly the sentiments of the user is, what are the points at which they are currently facing the problems, and how exactly we can improve that. For example, in this case, there is a what they are expecting. So they want a reliability improvement in their product and a better support empowerment. So let's, as a product manager, maybe we'll try to understand what are the how, if you have to solve this specific user problem, how would you solve this specific problem? So I wanted to know about your thoughts as well, so that we can move on to the next part as well, and we'll try to draft the solution as well. For example, in okay, my I guess I'm not a stop sharing my screen. Okay. For example, the user is frustrated with the support and policy number one. Okay, my God. So the user needs an reliability, a better support system, a better logistics transparency, and simplified quality assurance. So as a product manager, how we can incorporate this in their current application. Since, for example, for the logistics transparency, we can take references from the other um, quick commerce websites, like how they have ensured the logistics transparency, and similarly for support empowerment, how we can improve their current customer support service. So over to you guys. If you guys have any ideas how they can improve their current um, customer support service, then just you can just turn on your mic and speak up.
I believe just to start and like deal with the maximum things, since like most of the things are repetitive, they can introduce an agentic AI bot which deals with the most repetitive task and put their like perform the people who actually solves the crucial task or something which requires human intervention to their
Mhm.
support team. I believe that solves most of the problem.
Okay, so I guess most of the companies have already incorporated that. So maybe you can refer to Misho as well. I guess even they are working on this and they have incorporated this into their current system. But maybe you guys can give more improvement, like how they can improve that, how they can train their existing agentic AI model, which is there. And once they are not satisfied with it, they can talk to a human. Is it something that this can be done? Anyone else would like to add on anything and have anything to discuss to solve this specific customer support problem of Misho?
By making it more understandable of what the customer is requiring.
Could you please elaborate a bit on that?
Means sometimes we are looking for a specific product, but it gives us alternate which we are not looking for. For
Okay, okay,
example,
got it. Mhm. Yes, please go ahead.
I recently have a problem with my SIM, and when I was giving it to have the issue talk to, it was not referring to me to any other customer service person, but it was only trying to solve itself that problem. It was not going for that specific need which I was going for.
Okay, that's a great. I got the point. Okay, and additionally, there are a few things that we can discuss as well. Like, apart from the touch points, apart from the problems which has been faced by the company, there so I had previously worked on a certain project of Meesho only. So I'll give you a more context. Like, so it was a bit different problem statement. So the problem statement that I was working on, like how they can basically improve the current user experiences and increase their cart value. So I wanted to explain more on that. So we were recommending something called as the analysis of the reviews. So in the chat box itself, we get multiple. Okay, so we get multiple reviews by the user itself. So we can give it a summary, like this is the summary of the users, like, hey, I hope it has been there. So my suggestion was something similar to. So we have multiple reviews. So they can incorporate an LLM which will analyze the reviews which has been there, and then the user can save their time while going through through the application, going through the reviews specifically. So this is something we can also focus on. Apart from the customer pain point, you guys can also focus on the product improvement and the product innovation that can be done. Secondly, there was, if you try to understand about the company point of view, what they are looking forward to. So, so there was a podcast in which the founder of Meesho itself explained about their a average order value is around 340 or something, as far as I remember, or I guess it was the lifetime value. So they were looking forward to, it was average order value only. So they were comparing this with Flipkart or the other e-commerce website. And for Flipkart, it was like around 1100 as far as I remember, and it was the pain point. So maybe you can take that problem statement like, hey, the Meesho can do in this in their specific product in order to get more CLV. For example, maybe a product is at a specific price, and since they wanted to get the same product at a price, so they can set a price that remind me once the price is this. So there can be multiple solutions which can be incorporated in their existing product, so to improve the current user experience. And that's all about that's it from my end for this specific part. In case you have any suggestions to add on, just you can just turn on your mic and speak up. Um, Social, would you like to add on anything? Okay, so I guess for the starting three parts, which was the company analysis, the industry analysis, and the user analysis, how do we exactly do that? Is pretty much clear to everyone. In case you guys have any doubts, just you can stay in the meet, else you are all free to leave. Thank you for joining the session.